That's just going to happen. That part's just going to happen. So Kimura Simmons and I went out to have drinks. She was looking at me seductively, and I was turned on. We were going to go back to my place afterwards, but suddenly, after a sip of my drink, I felt like I had to vomit. I excused myself. I barely made it to the ladies' room. When I came back, Kimura asked, "You feeling okay?" "I'm fine. I have been under the weather the last couple of days. I think I'll head home," she said. "Your breasts looking kind of plump there, girl." Embarrassed, I whispered, "Not in public." She replied, "Simply, are you pregnant?" I was taken completely aback. "Why the hell would you say that?" She let it sit there for a minute. I bet in her head she was like, "Wait for it, wait for it." Then it hit me. Shit. She gave me a minute before continuing. "So what you gonna do?" I didn't understand. Gonna do? If it's not Sean's, fuck it if it is. With the shock wearing off, the scope of the situation began to take hold. I responded, "I better get a test." She looked at me with pity. "Damn girl, good luck." No shit, damn girl, good luck. After what he did to Chris, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. The desire that was in her eyes before I got sick was all but gone. As I began to stand, I realized what she I realized what she said to me, and I paused. She looked at me flatly and said, "Ain't nobody stupid, girl." And I didn't know what to say. The question still lingered in my mind despite everything. I knew. Did Puffy intentionally kill Chris? She brought. Where we at right here? She brought me back to the moment. Oh. She brought me back to the moment by saying, "Go," not knowing what else to say, but knowing I had to deal with my situation right now. I replied, "I'll hit you up." She sighed and simply repeated, "Good luck." The next day, I was sitting on my couch, deep in thought, when my doorbell rang. I went to let Sean in. This was going to be scary. We made our way back to the living room and we sat down. Quincy was asleep. Sean seemed legitimately concerned. "What's so urgent?" I didn't know what else to do. I just blurted out, "I'm pregnant." The air in the room was as thick as J-Lo. Oh, wow. He was quiet. What was he thinking? He asked the obvious question, "Are you sure?" I spoke rapidly as I Oh, I spoke rapidly. "I was on the pill. I'll get rid of it. I'm sorry. I just wanted you to know." "That's wonderful. This is great." I was so confused. "Huh? You're you're not mad?" He laughed. "Mad? No. Why? I would be mad at this wonderful. Why would I be mad at this wonderful news? I'm gonna be a dad with the woman I love, bearing my child. What could possibly be better?" He jumped right on the phone and called one of his besties. I could hear Will Smith congratulating him. Sean said, "Yeah, definitely hold on, Kim baby." I was still in awe of the fact that he didn't get angry. And yes, I will admit, I was sure he was going to hit me. So it was with relief when he replied, "Yes." He told me excitedly, "We gotta have a party." His excitement was contagious. I was getting really excited too. Yes, a gender reveal. And he cut me off. Oh, a gender reveal and he cut me off. Yes, of course. We're doing all of that, but everyone is going to want to sleep with you right before you give birth. My heart sank in my chest. Everybody is going to want to what? Sean went on with the same excitement. Well, not. What on earth is he talking about here? Well, not everybody, you know. Will, Jada. Of course, there's the blank right there. It sounds like the Snoop right there. "Sean, I'm having your baby." He verbally waved me off. "It'll be fine." I couldn't help myself. I just started crying. Sean grew quiet on the phone, then spoke low. I'll call you back. He hung up and took me by the hand. Wait, what? I'll call you back. Okay, he was on the phone with somebody else. Okay. He verbally waved me off. It'll be fine. I couldn't help myself. I just started crying. Sean grew quiet on. Oh, he grew quiet on the phone, then spoke low. I'll call you back. He hung up and took me by the hand. Baby, I never asked anything from you. I tried to see him. I tried to see him through the tears streaming down my face. I couldn't believe the words coming out of his mouth. I tried to speak. Sean, he cut me off. I provide everything anyone could ever want. Do you want for anything? Sobbing, I replied, no, but he continued, this is the kind of thing that I have to do in order to continue giving you this comfortable lifestyle where you live in the lap of luxury and get to be on TV shows and movies. I know you didn't want this, but do you want all of this to go away? A whimper is all I could imagine. A whimper is all I could manage. No, he continued softly. Then we got to do this. I said, but Sean, I don't believe in all this spiritual crazy shit. We got here because you're brilliant, not because of this sex parties. Well, it sounds like he got there because of the sex parties. He replied, do you trust me? I did. My soul was so. I did. My soul was so broken. I did. Responded. Yes. He sighed. And he said. Then he let's. Excuse me. Then let's do what we need to do to keep what we have. As I nodded, yes, he pulled me into a hug. Excuse me. He pulled me into hug me. Thank you, baby. We're going to have a beautiful baby. He ordered me some food, and that night I cried myself to sleep. I was going to be gangbanged at 9 months pregnant. That is fucking ridiculous. I want my children out of this life. My child's going to have a good biblical name, a heavy, oh my goodness, a heavy Christian name. They're not going to take his soul. Wow. In hindsight, it sounds like from I'm gathering the whole Diddy being into voodoo. This is when she was pregnant with Christian. Wow. So she got gangbanged while she was pregnant with Christian and thought about naming him Christian because she wanted him to have a biblical name. Wow, that's nuts right there. That is nuts right there. I don't know how this managed to stay out of the media for so long, but Sean got to the point where he was incredibly abusive and only his inner circle knew about it. Excuse me. The artists were all too afraid of him to say anything. He gained so much power. Excuse me. Hold on one second. He gained so much power, no one would say anything. Puff Daddy was a kingpin. This Monday afternoon, Quincy was in school, and our son Christian was with the nanny. And I still had to make a living. I still loved the camera and had just been cast for a new movie. Sean was coming over to celebrate with me, just the two of us. I was in the bathroom. When he came in, we were supposed to go out for dinner, but he was in a soul food mood. Sean yelled, oh, what the fuck? Excuse me. I would have to walk on eggshells. Excuse me. I would have to walk on eggshells as I came out the bathroom, but I found him holding flowers, so I smelled. You brought me flowers? Sean yelled to me. No, so who the fuck are they from? I was bewildered and told him honestly, I don't know. Probably just a fan. He threw the attached card at me. I picked it up, read it. He slapped me so hard I hit the ground. Sean yelled, Who the fuck were you with the other night? I looked down at the card that was lying on the ground next to me and it read, "The other night was amazing. We must do it again." Shit, I tried to explain. Sean, he threw the flowers at me. "That's not how it works. You have my child. You don't touch anyone unless I allow it," I yelled. Now, we all know who this particular argument was about. This was about Shakur Stewart. We actually had went over Shakur Stewart's death on the pod as well. This one was about Shakur Stewart right here, and at the time she pretty much was sleeping with Shakur Stewart. So, it was just coffee with the producer. It was nothing. He glared at me and asked, "Who the fuck is this producer?" I was trying to desperately to calm him down as I responded, "From the movie, babe. Calm down." He picked up my coffee. He picked up my coffee mug and slammed it against the wall. Coffee flew everywhere as he yelled, "Who the fuck does this nigga think he is? Sean, he's just some producer." We talked about the role. We talked about the role and me maybe starring in another movie that he wants to produce. I swear that's it, Sean. Sean exploded even more. He wants he wants to put the movie on my fucking family. He wants to put the movie on my fucking family? Hold on, what? He wants to put the move on my fucking family at the top of his lungs, my fucking family? He flipped the table over, breaking it. It was a heavy table, but Sean is stronger than he looks. I pleaded with him, "Sean, please." He yelled at me, "What?" I tried my best to calm him down. He probably didn't know. It didn't come up. You're publicly dating someone else, so he screamed at me, and it somehow seemed even more intense. "So you didn't tell him back off?" "Sean, I didn't." And then out of nowhere, he hit me with a chair. I don't remember anything after that until I woke up in a hospital room. My arm was in a cast, hanging from a sling. My face hurt. My eyebrow was in an immense pain, as was my lip. As I came to the first face I saw was the man that put me here. Unbelievable. But it sounds like it's about Shakira Stewart more than anything. I'm not even going to say that this before here. Um, Sean asked with concern in his voice, "How are you feeling?" I responded, "Stay away from me. I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. I don't either that you hit her with a whole chair, my nigga. Save it for the lawyers. Stay away from me. We were in a private hospital room and no one would hear me. I could scream like my life depended on it, but it wouldn't matter." It wouldn't matter if I rang for assistance. I wouldn't get any. I wouldn't get any. He kept going. "I was just so jealous. You know how I am. You have to. You see. You know how I am. You have to. Let's see. You have to. What did I say? Oh, after he took hold. Okay. So you have. Oh, he took a hold of my left arm. Sorry, it's blurred a bit at the top right there. So the one that was not slung up in a cast. You have our beautiful son. Our family. It's just at that point I had enough. This one, you slutted out right before giving birth. This one, you slutted out right before giving birth. Are you fucking shitting me? Stay away from me. Don't come near me or my kids. He continued to plead, "I'm sorry, baby. I promise. I'll never put my hands on you again." This is about the fourth or fifth time that he said this shit now. "I swear. I've heard this song one too many times. I spoke through gritted teeth. If you come near me or my kids again, I'll call the cops." A flash of anger returned. "You would use my kid to threaten me?" But then he caught myself. "I understand your anger." I glared at him as I cut him off. As I glared at him as I cut him off. I'm serious, Sean. He spoke blandly with no energy and tell them what? That you had a car accident? They'll pity you. That you hit your head? Yeah, they'll pity you. That you hit your head. He was going to make me look crazy. They were going to believe him. He was a kingpin. You're a fucking bastard. Sean spent the next 6 months helping me heal and working his way back into my life and into my bed. I was so damn stupid, and of course, I wasn't. I wasn't cast for either movie. From what I understand, the producer died of pneumonia. Now, let me see something here real quick. Let me see here real quick. Let me see here real quick. Okay. Where's we at? The next one. Okay, so Sean kept his word for the most part until he didn't. I ended up pregnant again. He wanted energy from that too. Wow. So now he's even saying that he wanted energy from that too. So now it sounds like he's been doing these voodoos when she actually gets pregnant. So that would be my last sex party. My body will never be ravaged by so many people again, especially while I'm pregnant. What if something happened to the twins? Oh my God, now she's pregnant with the twins. After that, I wanted out. But when I tried dating someone else, they would end up dead from pneumonia. I knew Sean was behind it. This was not a coincidence. He gets jealous of a guy and they die of pneumonia. I could be next. If I am going to get out of this, yes. If I'm going to get out of this alive, I'm going to have to do something to make him stay away from me. I had a plan, but it's dangerous. Sean has a vault where he keeps videotapes of all his conquests. I started sleeping with him again after he falls asleep. He was starting to drink heavily. I would get into the vault and get a couple of the tapes, take them home, make copies, and swap them for the next set of tapes. A few days later, it took weeks to get them all copied, and he never knew that I had them. This was my way out. Some of the tapes had things I would never have expected. The gay parties are one thing, but the young boys like Usher, Little Bow Wow, and Justin Bieber, woo. So we knew about two of them. We didn't know about Bow Wow. And I would have never known. My God, is he grooming Quincy? This has to end. I invited him over one day to confront him and put an end to our on again, off again relationship. All right, so now we are nearing the final days of Kim Porter, it seems like here. It seems like time has fast forwarded and moved quite on by now. Entered my home unannounced for the last time. He would no longer have the key after today. I was in the kitchen. Kimura and I were sharing drinks. I was scared to face him alone. Sean entered smiling. What's up, Kimmy? Hey, Mora. I told Sean. Sit down. Because of my tone, he looked at me stunned and asked, what's going on? What is this? I responded with delight. Me taking my life back. We're done. He answered, hold on, wait a minute. I was so excited that I wasn't hearing any of it. I shouted at him, no, no, no more. This is fucking over. He looked confused as he asked, where is all this coming from? With disgust, I said, I got the footage, Sean. He looked even more confused as he inquired, what are you talking about? Kimura said with revulsion, Usher too? Wow. Sean said, wait, what the fuck is going on? Sean stood aggressively and Kimura responded, don't make me call the cops. Sean's anger was creeping as he replied, this is how it is? I simply nodded. If anything happens to either one of us, it gets released. He's he gets released. He seethed as he queried, "After all I've done for you, I don't think I was ever so happy as when I said those words to him, 'Get out.'" Pissed, he started to leave, looking back with pure hatred. As he walked down as he walked down the stairs, he turned around in a fury and lunged at me. He knocked me down near the top of the stairs. I was hurt. Kimura screamed, "Stop." As he began to crouch over me, I kicked at him, hitting him in a oh, excuse me. As he began to crouch over me, I kicked at him, hitting him in the kneecap, then his face. He went stumbling down the stairs. He was too hurt to get up. I called the cops. Kimura left before they arrived. When he left, it was an ambulance. I felt empowered. I felt safe. The Sean Combs days had finally come to an end. So, things were okay for a while. I started dating again. It was almost normal until I got serious with someone, then my boyfriend died of pneumonia. I knew it was Sean again. That's when I decided to write this book. A few days ago, my home was burglarized, only laptops were stolen. I know it was that bastard, or his goons, of course. I had a copy in the cloud that I was able to easily download here onto this new computer. As I continue to write now, I'll send this into the cloud as well. I will send out copies via email. In my Google Drive, password will be attached so the missing chapters can be accessed. This book must get out. There are so many more chapters to add. This outline is a great start. I have to organize the rest of the chapters and add them in little by little. Sounds like Kim knew that she was about to get killed, if you ask me. This sounds like Kim here is preparing her will almost and using this book as part of her will, saying, "Hey, I need to get this out to family and friends right now." If you ask me, I think we're reading one of those copies that Kim sent out. I planned on spending today working on exactly that, but I'm not feeling very well. Thank God the kids aren't here this weekend so I can rest. I called Kimura to cancel our tentative plans for a meetup. When I spoke to her, she said, "Oh, girl, that doesn't sound like the flu. You want to go to the hospital?" That didn't immediately alarm me. I just need some rest. I told her and quickly got off the phone. But why can't I get my doctor? Why won't he speak on the phone? Oh no, I called Sean from my bedroom where I'm lying in my bed. All I could think about was all I can think about was as I sat there waiting for the ambulance, I'm writing this chapter and praying that I make it to the hospital. I don't feel like writing anymore, and I made wait. Let me make sure of something right here real quick though. Okay, so yeah, I was at there. Okay, so all I could think about was as I said, okay, so that does skip kind of ahead. Okay, it does skip ahead after 22. Okay, so as I sat here waiting for the ambulance, I am writing this chapter and praying that I make it to the hospital. I don't feel like writing anymore. I may not be able to I may not be around to see it in print. It's okay. I'm sending it out. He won't get away with this. I will have my say. My final words, Sean Combs, will get exposed, even if I lose my life doing it. My kids have always been my most cherished possessions. I want the world to know that. Most importantly, I want them to know. Oh, I almost got the same page again. And yeah, that was pretty much it. That was pretty much it. Yes, Diddy is the devil. She knew. She knew that she was going to get killed. Kim pretty much knew that she was on her last dying days. And for Albie Shore to pretty much just confirm to us that this book is actually, there's some type of fact more than fiction with this book. So, again, we talked about in the very beginning here in the very beginning here of how Albie Shore felt about this. Oh, does he gonna let me blow it up? Okay, anyway. Pretty much gonna read from the side right here anyway. So you know what? I'll just do this. I'll do this and make it easier. So, Peep Game. For over a decade, and this is coming from Albie Shore's actual page. Peep Game. For over a decade and a half, I've been posting about and tagging random law enforcement agencies in hopes to protect loved ones and avoid deaths and tragedies that could have all been avoided. Despite this, I have been ignored, ridiculed, and medically silenced to cover up these crimes you're all now aware of by now. Very aggressive PR team and costly campaign to silence and physically harm me from exposing it. It only aimed to prevent me from further sharing publicly the facts and insights Lady KP shared with me during our frequent and intimate conversations in her selfless attempts to save my life by sharing frequent plans to do harm and possibly by ending my life. I am writing this post to formally request an investigation into an entire group of individuals who worked at or around the residence of Miss Kimberly Porter, including the publicist who assisted drafting this. It has to come my attention that these persons were also instructed to steal her computer and mobile devices which contain her original book notes. Original notes are distinct from the fabricated bullshit and offensive pages circulated via Amazon, which depict graphic sexual acts involving me that never took place and were edited and added after Miss Porter's tragic murder. So I get that you're saying they added on an edited part, but my nigga, if you're trying to say that only your part was fictional, that don't tell me that the whole damn book is fictional now. So I urge you to consider who authorized such a fictitious publication without categorizing it as calculated fiction. The publicists and conspirators worked in concert from separate camps, launching this campaign, which appears to be a very personal and a deliberate distraction from their involvement in covering horrific crimes, assisted and perplexed the public for many years, which I have personally experienced and cautiously deemed just a medical crisis for legal reasons until the rest of the atrocities were uncovered by authorities, making it more believable, to a gullible public that has been fooled for just so long. So that is his definition of how things transpired. But at the same time, like I said, my whole thing is I get that you're a little bit upset. I get that you're upset on how this actually transpired, I'll be sure. But if I'm, just being honest, if we're just taking just your part of what happened and saying it's fictitious, my nigga, it's way more fact than it is fiction in this book. It's way more fact than it is fiction in this book here. So, if anything, that just, like I said, to me, proves that the book has some validity to it. And from what we were confirming here tonight, my mom said he struck her as kind of fruity back. Yeah, that's the thing. I'll be sure was seen as fruity even back in the day. So, my nigga, if we talking about just you fucking Diddy, I believe Diddy fucked you. Let's just be honest with it. If we're talking about early 1990s or mid 1990s, Albie Shore was fucking gay. He looked fucking gay. You can't tell me that otherwise. You can't find a wife of his. That's what I'm just saying. It's too many different instances. It's too many different instances. And I agree with Gene Deal. A lot of this shit is learned behavior. A lot of this shit is learned behavior from him. Let me also say that. It's learned behavior from Clive Davis and the likes of him and the many people that he supposedly looked for inspiration. He couldn't. And now that I'm even thinking about it now, like Diddy's goose is cooked, and he's definitely not going to make it to trial. I don't think he's going to make it past this particular week right here. Mark my words, if you want to say it. Considering all the things that are happening right now, he's looking very Epsteinish.